For the first time in the entire history of the International Space Station, every single docking port is occupied. 8 visiting spacecraft, crew vehicles and cargo ships from multiple space agencies are now attached to the orbiting laboratory at once. This rare alignment showcases the most complex traffic and logistics moment the ISS has ever managed, revealing just how active and internationally coordinated the station has become. 8 spacecraft, 1 station, how this rare event happened. This historic configuration became possible after NASA completed a carefully choreographed relocation of Northrop Grumman's Cygnus XL cargo spacecraft. Originally removed from its port last week by the robotics officer at Mission Control in Houston, Cygnus XL was temporarily parked using the Canadarm2 robotic arm. Its movement was a strategic decision, coordinated across NASA, Roscosmos and Northrop Grumman, to ensure proper clearance for the incoming Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft scheduled to arrive on November 27, 2025. After the successful arrival of Soyuz MS-28, Cygnus was reinstalled on the Earth-facing port of the Unity module, officially filling the final open docking point and completing the Milestone configuration. With its return, the ISS now hosts 2 SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, Crew 11 and a cargo Dragon, Northrop Grumman's Cygnus XL, JAXA's HTV-X cargo vehicle, 2 Russian Soyuz cruise ships, MS-27 and MS-28, and 2 Russian Progress cargo ships, 92 and 93. This is the first moment in ISS history where all 8 docking ports are simultaneously occupied, demonstrating how much activity the station is supporting at once. Cygnus XL will remain attached until no earlier than March 2026, when it will depart carrying up to 11,000 pounds of trash and unneeded equipment, safely burning up in Earth's atmosphere. A crowded laboratory. What's happening aboard the ISS right now? Inside the station, operations are just as dynamic as the exterior suggests. The ISS is currently home to 10 astronauts, forming the Expedition 73 crew. Activity really intensified following the arrival of NASA astronaut Chris Williams and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Kudz-Sverchkov and Sergei Mikhaev aboard Soyuz MS-28. All 3 will remain in orbit until July 2026, contributing to a range of scientific investigations. Kudz-Sverchkov and Mikhaev have already begun collecting data on how microgravity affects the microcirculatory system in their hands, feet, fingers, and toes. Williams is assisting NASA teammates with unpacking and distributing cargo. At the same time, preparations are underway for the departure of 3 astronauts currently on board Soyuz MS-27. NASA's Jonny Kim, along with Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zubritsky, will undock from the Prichal module on December 8th, marking the transition to Expedition 74. They have been performing pressure and leak checks on their so-called launch and entry suits, packing equipment, and completing handover procedures. Their mission began on April 8, 2025, making this the conclusion of an 8-month research campaign. Other crew members are fully engaged with science and maintenance tasks. NASA's Mike Finke swapped hardware on a physics experiment that studies methods for preserving cryogenic fluids inside spacecraft fuel tanks, an important capability for future deep space missions. He also set up the new NanoRacks Thailand liquid crystals experiment, which examines how thin crystal films behave in microgravity. JAXA astronaut Kimia Yui conducted measurements of cerebral artery blood flow and blood pressure to support research on how the brain regulates circulation in space. Meanwhile, Roscosmos flight engineer Oleg Platonov collected microbe samples across the Russian segment and transferred data recording the station's vibration environment. So, why does this matter? Well, the first ever full docking configuration is more than just a logistics achievement. It really highlights the International Space Station's evolving role as agencies gear up for the next generation of space exploration. With 8 spacecraft attached, the station becomes, a living demonstration of advanced traffic management, cross-agency collaboration, and round-the-clock operational planning. The scientific activity underway adds even more weight to this moment. Experiments such as microcirculation studies, cryogenic fuel preservation testing, liquid crystal film research, microbial sampling, and neurological assessments cannot be replicated on Earth. They're, absolutely essential to understanding how humans adapt to long-duration missions and how future spacecraft should be engineered. Results from these studies will support upcoming lunar operations under programs like Artemis, as well as preparations for commercial space stations expected later in the decade. This crowded configuration also signals how the ISS is transitioning toward its final years of service in the 2030s. More agencies are using the platform to validate technologies and complete biological and physical science investigations before the shift to commercial and international successes. Despite the complex global environment, this milestone really showcases how cooperation among NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, Northrop, Grumman, and SpaceX remains central to sustained human presence in orbit. The ISS reaching full docking capacity for the first time is, honestly, a landmark achievement in its 25-year history. With 8 spacecraft attached, 10 astronauts working across multiple disciplines, and an unprecedented flow of resupply and science operations, the station is demonstrating its most capable phase yet. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.